3 little-known players in African American history. The use of slave labor was a well-known practice for several decades in the world community. With the discovery of new lands with great promise to offer, the world's economy was fast flourishing. The demands for crop produce in large volumes made the slave trade the ideal solution for labor problems. And America was no exception. In fact, African American slaves soon outnumbered the white population because of the large import volume. However, slaves weren't just made to work the lands, they were made to forget their lifestyles, disciplines, and culture. Slave masters world over established slave codes which robbed the Africans of their freedom and willpower. Although many slaves did try to resist this treatment, they were met with strict and cruel forms of punishment for disobeying their masters. Slaves were forbidden from carrying guns, taking food, striking their masters, and running away. In fact, any and all slaves could be flogged or killed for resisting or breaking the established slave codes. Freedom was perhaps the main issue on the minds of those enslaved African Americans. American historical records have identified several attempts of rebellion. And some of the key players who were involved in the Africans' quest for freedom on American soil. Perhaps the 3 main personalities who pioneered freedom for African American slaves include Gabriel Prosser, Denmark Vesey, and Nat Turner. Gabriel Prosser. In August of 1800, Gabriel Prosser decided to free himself along with about 1,000 other slaves. His game plan revolved around killing most of the white residents and taking over the town of Richmond, Virginia. History records show that an untimely and severe thunderstorm caused the slave revolters to disband. Unfortunately, 3 slaves also revealed the plot, and so Gabriel Prosser and 36 of the slaves were identified, tried, and executed. Denmark Vesey. Denmark Vesey was another pioneer of slave abolition. He had obtained his freedom in 1800 and was especially upset by the whole system of slavery that he wanted to destroy it entirely. He wanted a full-fledged war using armed slaves to kill white slave owners in the city of Charleston, South Carolina. Unfortunately, in 1822, and after several years of planning, his idea to attack and liberate the city was revealed, leading to his own and several of his co-conspirators' arrest. Nat Turner. In the case of Nat Turner, he had a religious zeal and a belief that he was specifically chosen to free himself and his slave brethren. This 31-year-old preacher to the slaves constructed a plan of terror and devastation. His organized revolt became America's most famous and violent act involving slave resistance. On August 21, 1831, Nat Turner and 6 other slaves killed Turner's plantation master and his family in Southampton County, Virginia. Turner's band of slave supporters grew quickly, as they went about killing a total of 60 white slave owners, including their wives and children. Eventually, federal and Virginia state troopers encountered the roving band of slaves and killed most of those in rebellion. Unfortunately, this resulted in other slaves not connected to the rebellion also being killed. And this is all about 3 little-known players in African American history. Did you know these histories? We will return with more interesting topics. Follow us on social networks. Be happy.